Be a Mentor is a nonprofit children's advocacy organization that has a new executive director. I sat down one-on-one with Alexandra Moor for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And listen to this interview later on the free Quintin's Close-Ups iHeartRadio podcast. Alexandra Moor.
Yes.
It's so good to meet you.
It's great to meet you too.
I appreciate this greatly.
Of course, of course.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're sitting here at the Harbor Entrepreneurial Center here on Upper King Street.
Yes.
And obviously, you are the executive director of Be a Mentor.
I am.
I want to take it back to April 10th, 2018.
Yeah.
And this is with an article from the Charleston Regional Business Journal.
Uh-huh.
The headline reads this: Be a Mentor announces new executive director.
Yes.
Be a Mentor, a nonprofit children's art advocacy organization, is excited to announce the selection of Alexandra Moor as their new executive director. Moore took over the position Wednesday, April 4th, 2018. You said this quote: "I am excited to continue the growth of an organization that has such a positive impact on the children of the Lowcountry and the community at large. So often children are labeled at risk, but at Be a Mentor, they are identified as, quote, on the brink of success, unquote. This rhetoric of positive change and motivation reaches across all aspects of the organization and is a core value that I will keep as a priority."
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back to the top of that quote.
Yes.
You said this quote: "I'm excited to continue the growth of an organization that has such a positive impact on the children of the Lowcountry and the community at large."
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to me about the growth of Be a Mentor from 10 months ago to now?
Right, right. So it has been such an incredible journey and such a really cool way and a different way for me to believe in our children and then believe in our community. I came on to Be a Mentor as a former teacher, and so my heart and my passion lies in education. And so being able to give back to education in a way that was different was really fun and exciting and challenging for me. So since I've started, it feels like about a year ago, but also could be like 10 years ago. It's been really great to see relationships between community members, the school, and the district form and grow stronger. So it creates this holistic approach to taking care of our community and our children.
When you look at the community now, where does your mind go to?
So I believe in it. I think a lot of people, label certain things as deficits, and I think it's so important that we believe in the community and believe in our children, and our children is where that starts. And so I mentioned in there that, a lot of our children that we work with are labeled as at risk, whether that's at risk for graduation, at risk in behavior, at risk in reading. We don't want to continue that self-fulfilling prophecy. We are here to be nurturers of possibilities, teachers of self-advocacy, to believe in these children and make them know that we think that they can make a difference in our community.
And you also said this too: many of the people, particularly children, are identified as, quote, on the brink of success.
Yeah.
Who are those children right now in your mind that still plays in your heart and mind?
Well, those children are our future. I think the biggest investment in our community is through our children. So whether it be a child who needs extra one-on-one adult attention, or whether it be a child who needs help setting goals, both career goals and academic goals as they get older, those are the children we're serving who are just on the brink of success.
And what are the goals for Be a Mentor?
Goals for Be a Mentor. Well, I'd love to reach every child in the Lowcountry on a regional basis, and then be able to expand statewide and go from there.
Go from there. When you look at education right now, where does your mind go to as a former teacher? Right.
Well, it's tough. The Post and Courier just did the great piece on minimally adequate schools. I think a lot of people immediately go to that when they think about education in South Carolina, especially after all of this press and publicity. But I think it's up to the silent majority, people like you and me who are just community members, to take that as a learning lesson, but still continue to believe in the schools and believe in the community and support everybody involved with the schools, with the children in the community.
What lesson have you learned thus far as the executive director of Be a Mentor?
The biggest lesson I've learned thus far, I think it is to keep going despite any challenges or obstacles is a really important both life lesson and organizational lesson. You hit all these obstacles all the time, and instead of seeing them as something that could hinder you, they're such great opportunities for growth. So I think that change in mindset from obstacles to growth opportunities is something that I've really learned this year.
And obviously, Be a Mentor was founded in 2014 as an initiative of the Charleston Leadership Foundation. What is the biggest difference between 2004 and right now when you think of Be a Mentor?
So we just started as a referral organization. So community members, parents, schools would come to us and say, we need a mentor for this child. What should we do? And we would refer them out to different programs. But we saw this deficit in school-based mentoring programs. So we created our own programming to fill that gap. So we are just in schools, and that is our mentoring lane. And so we went from referrals to having 3 programs in one school. And now we are in 22 different schools in the Lowcountry, kindergarten through seniors in high school.
You talk about that deficit. How long was that?
We are the first school-based mentoring program in Charleston. It's certainly, we're not the first school-based mentoring program, but to be able to have a reliable adult at a consistent location for these children is a really good way to fill that gap that we were seeing.
You talk about, obviously, location. Out of the 22 schools, what is the most school that needs the most mentors?
Every school needs mentors. We pride ourselves in being in every corner of the Lowcountry, from James Island to downtown, Mount Pleasant, North Charleston, Somerville. We're in all these alleys. I can't say that one school would need it more than the other because there's children at every single school across the Lowcountry, across the state, and across the entire country that could use a mentor.
And when you look at yourself, who's mentoring you?
Who is mentoring me? I have such a great group of mentors that have kind of grown along with me. When I think of mentors first, I think of teachers. When I was younger, teachers who believed in me, maybe when other people didn't. And then as I got older, through college, I had advisors that were wonderful mentors. And now that I'm out of college, there's so many people in this community, especially in the nonprofit community, that are for collaboration and for helping each other succeed. So it's really cool to be a part of the whole community.
And you talk about nonprofit. What is the state of nonprofits in Charleston right now?
I really enjoy being a part of the nonprofit community and Be a Mentor as a whole. We've been working to try to build community among members of nonprofit. For example, we have a event here Harbor is hosting next Wednesday, and all mentoring organizations, nonprofits in the community are invited, and the main goal of that is to build community among each other so we can best serve each other and be advocates for mentorship all together. So it's fun to start to see some collaboration pieces growing.
And obviously you used to be a former teacher.
I did.
If you were to write on this white chalkboard right here, what would you say about the future of Be a Mentor?
Believe in it. The future of Be a Mentor is the future of our community. Like I said earlier, investment in our children is our future. And that spans on the business aspect. These are going to be our workers, our engineers, our thinkers, our government. So it's up to us to take care of that.
What's that one child that still plays in your mind today?
Oh my gosh. So one of my second graders, and you asked me who my mentor would be, and often you think of somebody older and more experienced than you who can give you some life advice. But some of the best life advice I got was from this second grader who taught me to be kind, but also challenge the status quo.
What is that status quo right now in your mind?
I think the status quo is being okay with, the basics. Being okay with how things are in your life, or how things are in your job, or how things are in your community. That you don't just have to ride along with it, that you can make a difference and step up and change something that you don't like.
That is great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alexandra Moor, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate
I
this.
did too. This was so wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
You're welcome.